Hi, this is Captain Peter Cutsey in another of my online videos. I have a few other people that I'm sharing this with right now or that have logged on, namely myself on my two iPads. I'm at the center of the screen right now using my computer, and the upper screen you see is one of my iPads, and the lower screen is another iPad to represent two students. So here we are in COVID-19, and can you imagine perhaps in a month from now when training starts worldwide at training centers, the last thing we want to do in a training center is to be cooped up in a room, a briefing room, with two students for an hour and a half. So what I'm suggesting and that I have been doing on my previous videos is that we have our briefings prior to coming to the training center. Can you imagine if I was sitting in giving you a briefing and you can't see my mouth, you can't see my facial expressions right now? And that's bad. And my students are going to lose a lot, especially people from different parts of the world that may have difficulty in understanding English. However, they're certainly going to understand every word I'm saying if they can see my face. So what we suggest and what we would like to suggest to the aviation world is to minimize physical contact and staying in with social distancing that we're going to be living with for a long time, not just COVID-19, but for many years yet to come. I suggest we do the briefing live with students prior to arriving at the training center. Thus, when we all arrive at the training center, sign in, temperature checked, touch-sensitive gloves, face masks, we go directly to the simulator. In the simulator, we're not facing each other. The captain and first officer are facing forward. The instructor, or he or she, is sitting behind the students and should maintain proper distance, of course. Wearing masks. Students with their signed out headsets from the training center that belong to them, and they're responsible to sterilize them. And many, many different rules and regulations that we're going to put in place. However, what I really feel is that we should be doing our briefings this way. Not only is this better for social distancing and minimizes the time at the training center in a stuffy briefing room, but these briefings are recorded, which I'm doing now. And Zoom does a beautiful job with that. And they can be uploaded into a secure cloud. I use Google Drive, one of the most secure in the world. Training centers can do the same or use their own secure server, whatever they want. And the students can actually repeat the briefing, perhaps 2 or 3 times before they actually come to the center. Just think of the value involved. And then once the actual session is over, we could consider not doing the debriefing live, but doing it online. So in dedicated briefing rooms, we're not going to be having that many sessions in a training center because the simulators are going to have to be sterilized between each session. So we could use different briefing rooms from which the instructor would be in a room by himself, zooming for the debriefing to the students by themselves. We have to think smart for the future, and this is what I think we should be doing. My information is on the top of the screen. I've been around in this training business for 62 years and I love it. We want to make sure that we're not only flying airplanes safely, but we're actually taking care of each other safely. And training centers are going to be a huge breeding ground for COVID or the common cold. 3 years ago, I walked into this briefing room with a mask on. And the student said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I have a cold. I don't want to give it to you. Pardon my mask being on." If we did that for common colds and COVID, I don't think we'd get sick that often. But in any case, we have to really think differently the way we're going to handle training. So I suggest that you perhaps think about this, call me, email me, information is on the screen, and follow me on YouTube. I've got 33 videos that really talk about what we should be doing in the future. Thanks a lot for listening.